100 Simple Secrets of Great Relationships. What Scientists Have Learned and How You Can Use It by David Niven, PhD. Reading from the chapter entitled, You Have Nothing to Envy. If you were thinking about potential partners, you would no doubt be excited to find someone who is very successful at work. And yet, in a relationship, people often find themselves envious of the success of their partner. They begin to see the success of their partner as a personal failure or as a score in some kind of competition. This makes little sense and does no one any good. There is no trophy for bettering your partner. The real prize goes to those who refuse to compete with their partner. That prize is contentment and a more satisfying relationship. People who feel a sense of competition with their partner are 37% less likely to feel that their relationship is satisfying. End quote. Nevin summarizes a research article written by Antonio Romero Medina, 2001, entitled Sex Equal Stable Marriages. Envy is an emotion that we sometimes feel when we compare ourselves to others. And when I say the word emotion, I draw a distinction between emotions and feelings. Feelings are more free-floating, and emotions have targets. So if I feel envious, I'm envious of someone. When I'm angry in emotion, I'm angry at someone. So it's different than a feeling. And envy has to do with comparing myself to someone else. And when I compare myself to someone else, I'm usually making a upward comparison. That is, I'm comparing myself to someone that has something that I may want or desire. They have an object or a skill or a quality that I'm comparing myself to, and which makes me feel bad about myself, and which may in fact make me dislike them. And envy is different than jealousy because of that object of desire. With envy, the other person has the object of desire. They have the thing that I want. With jealousy, I have the object of desire, and jealousy is aroused in me as I try to defend against my perception that someone wants what I have, or that might try to take what I have. Like I might have the girlfriend and I think that someone wants to take her from me. So jealousy would be aroused in me. So the two are different. Envy also has to do with the direction of my gaze. With envy, I'm looking up at someone. And with jealousy, I'm looking down. Again, having to do with the object of desire. I look up because they have what I want. And with jealousy, I look down because I have what they want. I look down on them and think they might try to take what I have. With envy, like all other emotions, we have to allow for the emotion without the behavior, without the negative, destructive behavior that can be evoked from the feeling, from the passions. In society, in our culture, in our music, and in media, we have the term haters. And haters would be people who are envious of our accomplishments or envious of someone else's accomplishments. And so they hate on the person that they're envious of. Now, envy is a problem because of a number of different reasons. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a problem, but any emotion that is not managed properly can become a problem. If it's used constructively, that's one thing, but if it's used destructively, that's something else. And with envy, because I dislike someone because of their accomplishments or because of their talents or because of their qualities, I can begin to act in ways that maybe discriminate against them, or I can hurt them with gossip, or I can just dislike them and operate around them in ways that indicate that I don't like them. But also envy is a problem because we rarely talk about envy. We rarely talk about um, feeling bad about ourselves in relationship to someone else and what they can do or what they possess. And it can bring up, as the article was talking about, um, competitive feelings. And envy is something that can come up in an intimate relationship where I can be envious of my partner's skills, my partner's ability, my qualities that my partner possesses, and I can begin to act competitively in the relationship. I can begin to, rather than talk about how I'm feeling or what's coming up, I can begin to act in ways that indicate that there's a problem without ever really saying anything. And envy is interesting because we're always comparing ourselves to other people. And that's one way that we um, establish and regulate our self-esteem. Our self-esteem is derived from how we feel about ourselves in comparison to other people. And so um, it's healthy, I think, in many ways to compare yourself to other people as long as you are acting constructively with that information that you learn or with how you feel about yourself. It's all right to see yourself clearly and to see yourself perhaps not having the skills that you want and looking to others to see um, how they manage situations, how they deal with things, how they're getting through life, and then try to make some corrections in your own life. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But to just be envious and hateful and mad and angry and then to take that out on maybe that person or someone else, I don't think that's okay. You know, I don't know that you, in a relationship, I don't know that I want to try to compete against my partner for an advantage or a gain or a position. I think that can create some problems for obvious reasons. I don't think it's okay for me to treat my partner poorly because I'm envious of them or because I'm competing with them. I need to be able to turn that off. I think there's a place for competition. There's a place for making comparisons. I don't know that should be done in my intimate relationship, though. And I think we do it. I think we do it and we don't talk about it enough. And I think that it can undermine both our relationship and our happiness. There are a number of ways we can manage envy. I think one way is to talk about it. And another way is to use it as a positive motivator. We can make some changes. If someone has a skill that we find ourselves envious of, I think that we can, if we want that skill, we have to just work on it. I think it's important to appreciate your partner, appreciate those qualities, because remember, I'm attracted to the person for a reason. And a lot of times in abusive relationships, those aspects of my partner that I'm attracted to are the aspects of my partner that I will criticize and go after and attempt to destroy when I'm upset or when I'm feeling and behaving in an abusive manner. So I think one of the things that we can do is, again, appreciate your partner. Also, we can give reassurance. I can reassure my partner. I can reassure myself. I don't think we get enough reassurance in life. And I think a lot of times we don't provide enough reassurance in our intimate relationships. And remember, one of the things that leads to relationship dissolution is criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Those are the four horsemen of the apocalypse, according to John Gottman. So I think the opposite of criticism is praise and reassurance. So I think that we could give more of that in a relationship and use envy to motivate us to do that. Envy was also considered one of the 7 deadly sins. And its opposite was love. Instead of hating on a person, instead of disliking a person, to love that person. I think that we all have areas where we excel. And so I may be envious of someone else for something that they can do or something they possess, but I also have some areas where I'm good at something, and I can look to shine in those areas and not be so concerned about where I'm not doing so well until I can do better. And remember to accentuate the positive within myself and accentuate the positive within other people. And I'm not going to be good everywhere. I'm going to be good in some places. I'm not going to be good in other places. And that goes for everybody. So I think in a relationship, it's good to just take turns excelling where you can excel and trying to help each other shine in the areas where we can shine, when we can shine. I think another thing we can do is redefine success for ourselves. You know, and a lot of times I think we only see success as accomplishing this or that, or having status, or having money, or some object, something. But another place to seek success is in terms of handling your emotions and being able to communicate those in your relationship. I think that's a big area of success because it leads to better, more successful, happier relationships. And that's something that we could all use more of. And just we can use envy to trigger us to behave constructively rather than destructively. It's all right to have deficits. It's all right not to be good in all areas. But when envy comes up, I can look at that as an area that I need to maybe do some work in, lean into. And don't be upset about the fact that I may be deficient in this area or not as good in this area, but look at it as an opportunity to improve. Like all our emotions, all our feelings, it's important at times to acknowledge how I'm really feeling and what's really going on. I can use envy to create intimacy. If I'm able to talk about it without blaming my partner, it's a way for me to let her in on how I'm feeling and to show that I trust her and I trust myself and that we can talk about these feelings and thoughts and that our relationship is safe enough to talk about those types of things. And that I honor her enough to talk to her about it, to let her in on it, and to not, hold her at bay or make her wonder what's going on or what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling. As long as I can do that in a constructive way, I don't mean to pull her down. I don't mean to tear her up, but just to talk about how I'm feeling so that I don't act on it in a way that can destabilize my relationship and my own sense of well-being.